Hey everyone, and welcome back to Neptune's Child Tarot. This is my second tarot channel here on YouTube. For those of you that are new, welcome. If this is the first time clicking on one of my videos, my main tarot channel is Moon Moth Goddess. Well, I do post primarily love readings on that channel, but I do have over, I feel like 600 pick-a cards that are there, and they're both a mix of love readings and every other subject you can think of. So if you resonate with this reading here today, you may want to check out my main channel to kind of go through the playlist that I do have created on that channel to check out the other readings. I just started this second tarot channel for those that were more interested and focused on self-growth, self-development, which is what we're focusing on for the channel primarily. So welcome if you're new. And those of you that are returning subscribers, I thank you guys so much for your continued love and your support and all of the beautiful comments that you guys leave me. I read through them every day, and it just kind of helps to solidify all of the all of the efforts that I've been putting into this channel with all of the feedback that you guys have been giving on really enjoying the content as far as how it's focused towards yourself, which is something that I also really enjoy because I'm also, on that part of my journey where I'm not so much focused on love because I'm already married in a very happy, healthy relationship. So I focus on myself primarily, and that's also why I wanted to do this channel because I like other things. I like focusing on, career and finances and my spiritual path and all of that good stuff. So I'm grateful to have you guys here. So today's picker card reading is one that was subscriber requested, and it is your past life and how it affects you in this lifetime. Okay, your past life and how it affects you in this lifetime. Now, I do have a private reading that is available as an hour reading for those of you that want to get specifically into your past life. And I do have that available for you guys, but do keep in mind that because I do have quite a large following on my other tarot channel, that my readings are usually booked out at least 8 weeks. So I do appreciate you guys for your patience with that, but I do have a past life reading available where we deep dive into who you were, your personality, what you may have done for work, your relationship dynamics, all of that, and then kind of seeing how that past life affects you in your current lifetime. So it's kind of what we're going to do today, but we're going to do a little mini version of that because I do have 3 piles to record today, and I'm also still recording for my other channel. So I have to kind of like condense the readings and make them a little bit shorter. So that's what we're going to look into today, your past life, how it affects you in this lifetime. So I do have 3 crystals here. If you already feel drawn to a particular crystal, you can go ahead and click the timestamp to go right directly to your reading. But I am going to add in one of these cards if you guys want to. Just a second. So pile number 1, you are the bloodstone crystal, which is like a dark, deep bluish green color with a little bit of yellow in it. Pile number 2 is the pink agate. Okay, and then pile number 3 is the amethyst. Okay, so I'm going just to kind of add in another card for those of you that like to look at something other than the crystal. So we're going to be looking at pile number 1. Who were you in a past life? And the other cards we will also shuffle right on camera. Now, for those of you, I'm noticing that there's been some comments on this channel as well as the other channel. YouTube, for those of you that don't know, YouTube updated their policies September, which involves nudity, right? The display of nudity of any kind. That includes tarot cards, okay? And if you know from watching every single tarot reading that is on YouTube, every single reader primarily uses the same tarot deck. They all use the Rider-Waite tarot deck, which has nudity in it. So it's very hard to find a tarot deck that does not have that. But since they updated their policies, I have to keep those images covered. So you might notice throughout the tarot decks that I use, let's just show you this one right here. Like say this, we have to keep that covered. Okay. Otherwise, videos cannot be monetized. Okay. They cannot be monetized with any nudity. Okay. So just to kind of clear that up, some of you are like, why is there a post-it note? Why is there a post-it note on your card? That is why. Okay. So pile 1, who were you in a past life? Who is pile number 1 in a past life? Okay. Just need one card for pile number 1. And I'm going to take this one right here. Okay, so pile number 1, you are going to be the Bardo, which kind of looks like an eye. Okay, so pile number 2 with the pink agate, who were you in a past life? I don't know. I'm already getting some messages here for pile number 1. That's like a really lots of detail coming through that one. So pile 2, who were you in a past life? Oh, wow. Okay. So pile number 2, you are the Starborn card. That's also a really cool image there. Okay. So pile 3 with the Amethyst, who were you in a past life? No, just one. Who is pile 3? Spirit is saying this one right here. Okay, wow, we have the King. Okay, so that is your card, pile number 3. So we have the Bardo for pile 1 with the, what is this called again? The Bloodstone. Okay, pile number 2, you have the pink agate with the Starborn. And then pile number 3, you are the Amethyst with the King. Okay, so you can jump right down to the timestamps to click and go right to your reading. And I will see you there. Hi, pile 1. So for those of you that resonated with the Bardo and the Bloodstone, so as I was saying, I already know just from looking at this, who you were in a past life, which is super cool, but I don't want to tell you guys yet. So let's move this over here. We're going to do some other cards here to shuffle just to kind of get out. And as I said in the intro, let's put this right here. As I said in the intro, if there are, I think I'm good, actually. I was going to say, some of the decks that have nudity in them, I do have to keep those images concealed and covered because of updated YouTube policies. But I feel like the decks that I'm using today are okay, except for the tarot deck that I showed you guys in the intro that has some of the images that are covered. They have to stay covered, okay? So yeah, updated policies, and that's what we're doing moving forward, okay? So pile 1, who were you in a past life? We're going to get a little bit more information. So I want you guys to also look at this image here, and I'm going to talk about it for a second. We have all these skulls, okay, that are around here. And to me, like I said in the beginning, this looks like an eye. This looks like an eye to me with a bunch of skulls here. So kind of think about that for a second. What you feel, you think that this is a symbolic of, without cheating, if you have this deck, because if you do have it, you may already know. I know what that is, but yeah, I already know just from looking at this. So who was pile number 1 in a past life? Okay, So we have, wow, we have the black egg. That is really cool. Okay, so let's go into this one here. Pile number 1. Who were you in a past life? Who was pile number 1? Okay, so we have Freya here with radical acceptance. I'm actually going to pull one of these two. These are really big cards. So I'm going to have to spread these out and pick one because they're too difficult to shuffle the regular way. Okay, so pile 1, who were you in a past life? Spirit is saying this one right here. So we're going to take that. And then let's go into this archetype deck. Who was pile number 1 in a past life? We have gossip here. It says, awakens consideration for the feelings of others and honoring trust. The shadow attribute to that says, thrives on the power of passing on private or secret information, betraying confidences. Okay, let's actually get a couple more, 2 more. Who were you in a past life? Your past life, pile 1. Who were you in a past life? Okay. Okay, so we also have Exorcist here. And it says, freeing yourself and others of destructive impulses. And it says, fear of facing your own demons. Let's get one more. And then we also have the Fool. And it says, fearlessly revealing emotion, helping people laugh at absurdity and hypocrisy. And it says, using humor to wound rather than liberate. Oh my goodness, you guys. I am, wow. This pile is really cool. Okay, so we have Butterfly here with rebirth. It says, you can reinvent yourself, open to the rewards of change. You have brilliance to share with the world. Love every part of your journey. Okay, so I will say, just kind of looking at the oracle cards that we have out here, and I feel like, yeah, that is primarily the ones that we're going to use right now. But I am getting from this energy here that there is definitely, most definitely, that you had mediumship abilities. Okay, that is what I'm getting from this Bardo. Okay, because this card is about the space of the, this come up here, the space of the in-between, between worlds, right? It's the liminal space. It is neither living nor crossed or passed over. So with this eye here, to me, there is this powerful energy of clairvoyance, right? This clairvoyance here. So this makes me feel like you had this connection to the dead, this connection to those that are maybe kind of souls that are maybe stuck, lost, haven't fully transitioned over. And then we have this energy here of the Fool. And as soon as I saw the Fool and this guy here who looks like he's some type of shaman, okay, he looks kind of, or looks like a native or indigenous culture. And then we have the Fool here, okay? Now, if any of you know about any type of native indigenous culture, there is a such thing that is called a Hayoka. And it is essentially a clown. What is the sacred clown, okay? So this to me is like, you are this person. This is why this is so cool. I love this already. Because there is this connection to the dead, you know, the spirit realm, your connection to the spirits. We have this shaman energy here, which looks like, to me, And it says freeing yourself and others of destructive impulses. And then to me, this almost reminds me of like a heyoka, right? Fearlessly revealing emotion, helping people laugh at absurdity and hypocrisy. And then the shadow attribute says using humor to wound rather than liberate, denial of your emotional truth. So heyoka empaths, for some of you, you could be resonate as a heyoka empath or feel that you do have empathic abilities. But yeah, and this may even be something that is kind of really what you're experiencing in this lifetime, is that you may be an empath. You may be someone who feels very called to spirituality or the spirit world, right? Spiritual, your spiritual gifts, which is kind of what I'm getting where I want this to stay. So what I'm kind of getting with that, also with the radical acceptance with Freya, and I'm noticing that this is number 15. Okay, the number 15, you know, it does reduce to a number 6, which is the Lover's card, which is about balance between the feminine, the masculine energies, but it's also, you know, duality. But it's also about the Devil card, okay? The Devil is the shadow, the ego, right? So in a way, you were someone in your past life. This is very very spiritual. So yeah, this kind of gives me the vibe that you were someone who was like a shaman, a healer, an empath, heyoka for some of you that resonate as a heyoka empath, someone who had very strong mediumship abilities, you know, connection to the dead. But I feel like, because if you know anything about heyoka empaths, if not, do some research on it. It's a really beautiful energy of that. But heyokas are basically mirrors for other people. Just like an empath, you mirror another person's energy. And I feel like you were someone who mirrored a lot of people's worst traits, their shadow. You mirrored people's shadow back to them for transformation and for healing. And then you have this butterfly here, which says rebirth. And it says you can reinvent yourself, open to the rewards of change. You have brilliance to share with the world. Love every part of your journey. So I feel like you could have been someone who was born with these gifts, may have had a very difficult, challenging life because you had these things happening to you and probably not really understanding them. In order for you to be able to heal other people and to help other people, because we have exorcist here, right? And if you think about an exorcist, is this removal of this energy, this spirit. I'm also kind of getting, because of the bardo here, which is called, like I said, it's talking about the liminal space, the in-between spirits that have left, right, the physical world, but they haven't completely crossed over. So this almost makes me feel, because of the exorcist here, that you could have been someone who had negative, someone who was able to remove negative attachments from people that were making it so that they were, what do I say with this? Like, you were literally like an exorcist. Like, you were someone who was helping to draw out that negative energy from other people. And for some of you, like I said, heyoka empaths that were mirroring back other people's darkest parts of themselves, their shadow, right? And because the number 15, like I said, it reduces to a number 6 with the Lover's card and the tarot. To me, it's about you helping people to face their shadow, the darkest parts of themselves, but not before first having to do this yourself, right? You have to be able, in order for you to really work as this healer, as this shaman, heyoka empaths, many of you have had in a past life, and I'm sure, you know, because this is some pretty strong energy. You may have, I feel like I'm really excited about this one. I can't wait to see what pile 2 and 3 are. But this makes me feel like you were someone who just had this ability to be able to draw out those negative energies, maybe through ceremonies, rituals, things of that nature. Like I said, you reflected back a lot of people's negative shadow parts. So you may have even found yourself like with or surrounded by people in which I'm feeling maybe people didn't accept you. Like, because what is happening as a Heyoka empath is that even as an empath, right? We are mirrors. I'm an empath too. But we are mirrors for people's energy, right? So let's just say that you could have been someone who, when you're around other people, you may have found yourself in a way that they didn't accept you. And it could have been that they felt like they didn't like you. They didn't maybe want to accept you as part of, like, say, the group or the tribe or, you know, the people around, and kind of making you almost like kind of like an outcast in a way. And it is only because you were mirroring back this person's shadow that they needed to heal their shadow self, the worst, I feel like, parts of themselves, for them to shed light on that shadow in order to be able to heal. And I feel like with this here, the radical acceptance is you being able to really heal that aspect of yourself first and foremost before you could actually help other people to heal, right? So it may have been feeling like a life that was filled with a lot of loneliness, a lot of pain, a lot of sadness, as we're kind of seeing here. It says using humor to wound rather than liberate, right? So maybe it took you some time to really kind of get used to, you know, your own shadow, right? Denial of your emotional truth, your own feelings, your own emotions, with that. And so to me, that radical acceptance is you maybe having gone through a lot of very challenging, chaotic kind of energy. And Freya is the goddess, the Norse goddess of war. Okay, so some of you may even feel this connection to Norse mythology, things of that nature, but I am, like I'm saying, seen here as a very spiritual type of person here, right? You may have also been someone who is victim to gossip, okay? Because we have thrives on power of passing on private or secret information, betraying confidence. So you could have had people that have betrayed you. You could have felt betrayed, or you could have, in your own shadow, right? You could have been someone who was a gossip, right? And that could have made things very hard, where it was kind of like making you feel like you were kind of the outcast, right? So the Norse goddess Freya, right? She's the one that's trying to help to find peace amidst the chaos. And so she would come to collect those that have been maybe hurt, right, within war, to help them to get rest and recuperation, right, in some way. So to me, yeah, it's like a lot of this, I feel like energy may have made you feel like you were a failure. You were maybe feeling disappointed with certain aspects of your own life. So there could have had to be a lot of challenging things that you've had to go through on your own. And then with this energy here, you can reinvent yourself, right? Maybe that wasn't physically that, or, you know, physically that you were someone who was a part of war. Sure, you could have been, but I feel like the war so that you were dealing with was more mental and emotional, right? More mental and emotional. So you kind of went through this brilliant, I feel like, transformation within yourself, that you were then able to kind of become a significant spiritual type of leader, or someone who was looked upon as someone who was able to help others to kind of discover these parts of themselves, right? Like I said, the Heyoka empath is something that has these abilities to be able to reflect back people's shadow, right? And it could even feel like, oh, people don't like me because they think that I'm not a good person. And it may be, yes, there could have been some traits. I'm not going to say it's all the other person, but, because we have to be accountable for our own energy. But this just kind of makes me feel that people may not have accepted you. You may have been very different than others. And then you have this beautiful black egg that is here. This beautiful black egg, which is also this card, a very spiritual, energy that's here, right? So this card is talking about a lot about finding your voice. Some of you with this could have been writers, teachers, people that were really kind of speaking to others, helping other people, and people wanted to listen, right, to what it is that you had to say, had to share, right? Which kind of gives like this really, I feel like, beautiful energy here, right? So it's all about, I feel like you were someone who may have, like I said, kind of like cast out from other people. And I feel like a lot of your journey in your past was one that was, like I said, very challenging. This card, oddly enough, this card is also talking about gossip, gossip, right? And so I feel like there is a lot of letting go, right? Of destructive type of impulses, because yes, gossip can be not so good, right? Talking about other people. So you could have been someone who went through a lot of that. You could have, like I said, you could have been the person who was gossiping, but this almost makes me feel like you were a person who was also gossiped a lot about, right? And so through all of that very challenging energy, you may have had to be someone who really had to find your voice, your truth, your you're speaking. Like you could have been someone who learned, because this is connected into the throat chakra. Okay, the throat chakra. So this is you teaching people, writing. You could have, like I said, you could have been writers, talking about your story, talking about your transformation. And this may even be something that you felt called to do in the past too, right? This book is also talking about musicians, editors, people who feel called in some way to share their voice, forms of expression, speeches with other people, and also teaching people, to find their voice, right? To be able to let go of attachment, to let go of addictions, to let go of any unhealthy patterns of behavior that were really restricting people from becoming their true, most authentic self. So you being a person who helped to kind of draw out that energy there. And many of you, because of this energy here, the black egg is also about the energy of kind of like an ancient sage, right? Someone who's very wise, very knowledgeable. So this is just kind of what I'm saying without even looking at the tarot. Okay. So I want to make a little bit of room here. We're going to look a little bit at the tarot. We might not even need it. I feel like there's so much information that came out here, but let's just kind of do this and then look at the tarot a little bit. Okay, so let's see. Pile number 1. So who were you in a past life? Who was pile number 1 in a past life? We have the 2 of Pentacles. We have the 7 of Wands. Yeah, so definitely this energy are here of someone who had to face many challenges, was faced with adversity, who was constantly trying to maintain or keep balance, I feel like, within your life, right? And it wasn't easy. I don't feel like it wasn't easy. We have the Hangman. Okay. Yeah, that is definitely a shift in perspective, changing, right? The way that you perceive yourself, the world. The Hangman is also a very spiritual energy. It is one that leads to a path of spiritual enlightenment by having that change in perspective. Look at that. We've got the Empress. Okay, so what I'm also getting here, this is feminine energy. Okay, I'm getting a feminine energy. We also have the Three of Wands. Okay, so I do also feel like you were someone who is very nurturing, also very attractive. Not that that really matters with all of this powerful energy, but I can say that you were someone who has definitely had a very beautiful heart, a very beautiful soul, someone who is very loving, kind, nurturing, compassionate. Look at that, what we have underneath the deck, the Emperor. Okay, remember how I was saying this number 15 reduces to the 6, which is that connection to the Lover's card. And we have the Emperor and the Empress here. Okay. That is the duality. That is masculine, feminine energy here. So to me, looking at this here, this is a very powerful energy. Okay, you could have been someone who was married. Okay, I will say that, married here. To me, this also is the embodiment of the divine feminine, of the divine masculine. So you could have also been someone who's a very powerful leader, very focused, very disciplined, very driven. Like I said, someone who's definitely gone through a lot of very challenging type of situations, right? But you were definitely someone who just had that type of nurturing energy to want to help people, to help them to heal. The Empress is, you know, this energy of unconditional love and compassion and fertility, growth, manifestation. Okay. With the Three of Wands energy here too, I'm also seeing that you could have been someone who was able to kind of see, in a way, I feel like the future. Almost like you could have been someone, oh, again, to me, there's this energy here of clairvoyance. Like able to see the future in a way, like what premonitions, that type of energy there as well. But yeah, I definitely feel like there was this challenge or this struggle here for you to really find balance. And we have the balance here, right? With the feminine and the masculine. So this makes me feel like you were this powerful, powerful energy here. The Seven of Wands is definitely this energy of challenge, adversity. You know, it could have been a little bit of a challenge here for you with that Two of Pentacles, with trying to maintain stability within your life here as well. Now, I do want to clarify just a little bit, and then we're going to ask Spirit here how this energy is affecting you in this life. But yeah, some of you might already kind of relate to this and kind of say, okay, this is kind of what I'm going through right now, which is what I often find with past life readings. It could be something that you're very much experiencing in this lifetime. So why is the Two of Pentacles here? Ten of Wands. Okay, look at that. The struggle, the challenge, the burdens, the stress, carrying a lot of weight, right? A lot of very challenging energy here. Why is this Seven of Wands here? We have the Page of Wands. Okay, so I'm also feeling that you were someone who was incredibly passionate. You may have been someone who really enjoyed traveling, discovering, you know, moving around, discovering new things. Very creative person. Why is the Hanged Man here? Queen of Wands, powerful energy. Okay. The Queen of Wands is definitely this energy of a leader. Very passionate, very creative. Again, very attractive energy. We've got the Empress, the Queen of Wands. You were definitely someone who was very much a go-getter. Someone who, I feel like also a lot of people, I feel like I said, I feel like there's definitely this challenge and struggle here with maybe with people not accepting you. I feel like a lot of this too is you accepting yourself, right? You learning to accept yourself for who you are and to really live in your truth. Find your voice and, talk about your challenges. Some of you may have even written a book, that really taught and shared your story with others, your own challenges, your own struggles. And that may even be something you feel called to do in this life as well. Let's see. Why is the Empress here? The Sun. Okay. The Sun is a really beautiful, radiant energy of happiness. Some of you may even had married with child. Okay. Why is the Three of Wands here? Five of Swords. Okay. That is conflict. The Five of Swords is conflict, and that could have even been with other people, right? Fights, challenges, a lot of aggressive people, I feel like. People that were not so great. Okay, Five of Swords energy can also be an energy of self-sabotage. And so I'm just kind of feeling maybe people saying a lot of not so great things to you, right? Could have really been something that I'm kind of noticing, because this full energy here, how this clown is taking away the mask, and behind that mask is pain. Okay. So you may have felt like you had to be like not yourself. You may have been someone who felt really sad or even depressed on the inside with your emotions because of past things that you may have gone through, right? And I feel like you were someone who was kind of waiting for things to change for you. You felt like very defeated in life because of the challenges and the struggles that you've had. And I feel like a lot of it was with other people, friends, family members, people that you had in your life. Like I said, people with not so great energy around you, right? There was a lot for you to really kind of focus on healing. Why is the Emperor here? Ace of Swords. Okay. So yeah, to me, it's almost like you had like some type of breakthrough awakening. We have the Judgment card here. And Judgment is really about renewal, the rebirth. Okay. This is you going through this process in your life where you had a lot of struggles, a lot of challenges, right? But Judgment is where you're able to kind of release these things, okay? And really fully step into your power here, is what I'm seeing, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear this away, and then I want to see how this past life energy is affecting you within this lifetime. Okay, pile one. So let's see, how is your past life affecting you in this lifetime? Let's pull some tarot first, and I think we're going to pull some more oracle. So how is your past life affecting you in this lifetime? You know what this makes me feel too with your Bardo here? It makes me also feel like you felt like you didn't belong. You felt like you were the person who was in between, right? Kind of like when we feel, you know how people use that expression, like, I feel like I'm dead inside. I feel like I'm dead inside, literally. Where you feel kind of without purpose. You feel lifeless. You feel like you didn't belong with the living, nor, like you just kind of felt like you were kind of stuck in between worlds, like you didn't belong. That's kind of what this is giving to me. A lot of loneliness, I feel like, isolation. Not like everyone else. People talked about you. People gossiped about you. People said a lot of mean things, and you kind of acted like you were fine and you were okay when you really weren't. You were really hiding a lot of pain inside and struggled, I feel like, with a lot of that throughout your life, and finally had like this epiphany, this realization, this wake-up call, this call from spirit to look to your life and how you could release those things so that you could be freed, right? Of even of your own kind of, say, like that devil energy, the number 15, that your own restriction, your own things that you may have even been placing on yourself, right? Your own destructive impulses, which to me could have been that you could have also been someone who had addictions, right? You could have been someone who had codependency, attachments, and just kind of really destructive type of behavior that wasn't leading you to a good place, okay? So pile 1, how is your past life affecting you in this lifetime? 8 of Wands. How is pile 1's past life affecting them in this lifetime? The Death card. Look at that. Transformation. Okay. 5 of Cups in reverse. Okay. The Chariot. Okay. Wow. Oh my goodness. And you have the High Priestess here. Yep. I love this pile. I can already say I haven't done pile 2 and pile 3 yet, but I think this is my favorite pile. And then we have the 9 of Pentacles at the bottom. Okay, so let's talk about this energy for a second. Okay, so I'm going to start off kind of like with this 5 of Cups right here in the center, because I feel like this is kind of where it's coming from. Your 5 of Cups is talking about pain, loss, sadness, regret, guilt, shame, you know, all of those heart-heavy type of energies. This is depression. This can be just sadness, right? So how this is manifesting into your life during this lifetime could be that you are someone who has experienced a lot of pain. A lot of pain. A lot of, I feel like looking at this 8 of Wands too, the 8 of Wands card is about messages. It's about communication, okay? And if you are familiar with a regular Rider-Waite tarot deck, on the 8 of Wands card, all there is wands, and all the wands are going in the same direction. They're all lined up perfectly. This card, however, with the 8 of Wands, the arrows are like all over the place, right? So this makes me feel that you are someone who was born with spiritual gifts, that High Priestess, okay? The High Priestess is the is the keeper of secret knowledge. She has a connection to the spirit realm. She has a connection to the Akashic records. She is our intuition. Okay, so you may in this lifetime have some very strong intuitive abilities. Okay, and why? Because the High Priestess is an energy of all of this knowledge and wisdom that has been gained through past lifetimes. Okay, many past lifetimes with the High Priestess. So this to me is also saying that you, in this lifetime, you may feel like you are an old soul. Okay, you may feel like you are an old soul, and you may be someone who, again, still has these mediumship abilities in this lifetime. However, with these 8 of Wands kind of all over the place, with this bird that's here, it almost makes me feel like you receive messages from the spirit realm, but you're learning how to understand them. It's like everything is like you're this filter for all of these messages that are coming in, and you're having to learn how to decipher them, right? You're having to learn how to decipher them, but it's like your soul knows, hey, we've been this before. We already know who we are. It's about you remembering who you are in this lifetime, right? Because the 8 of Wands being about messages, communication, it's also about energy that is set in motion. And because you are going through this challenging energy with the Five of Cups, you're meant to, with the Five of Cups in reverse, to be able to heal it, to transmute this energy here with the Death card into transformation for yourself. The Death card is going to be about ending anything in our life that does not serve us, which could be a pattern of behavior, a way of thinking, friendships, relationships, toxic situations, anything that is not in alignment with you as the High Priestess, right? You're meant with the Chariot energy here to be able to have and find the willpower within yourself to balance out your energies. The duality, the High Priestess, and also the Chariot is also the duality with the yin and the yang, the light and the shadow. If you notice in the Chariot, not in this card, but in a traditional Rider-Waite tarot deck, there are two lions sitting at the front of the Chariot. One is black, one is white. Okay, so that really is about you finding that balance within yourself, masculine, feminine. And the Nine of Pentacles energy here for you is that this transformation is really helping you to learn how to become more independent, to be financially stable, secure, for you to be able to experience life in a way that all of this hard work that you've put into yourself is helping you to move forward in a very powerful way. So with the High Priestess, some of you may even called to work spiritual work. Some of you may be very, like I said, very strong spiritual gifts. It could be clairvoyance. It could be claircognizance, which is the inner knowing. Okay, some of you may feel very strong connection to learning about spirituality and delving into even things having to do with the mind. So it could be that you're very interested in psychology. You're very interested in learning about astrology or the Akashic records, who you were. It's kind of like you're super deep diving into discovering all of these things about yourself, right? So the Chariot is really about you going through this path in your life where you are learning to find your power, right? You're learning to find this within yourself and going through this very powerful transformation in this lifetime. And if you notice, even in this Death card, we have these two fish that are kind of coming together. So again, you're finding balance, unity, union within yourself, your feminine, your masculine energies here. So I want to see what else. I almost feel like I want to clarify this High Priestess a little bit more. So why is the High Priestess here? Ten of Wands in reverse. And look at that, the Chariot. Okay, so what I feel like Spirit's saying here, and we have the Page of Swords at the bottom. Page of Swords is a student. Okay, this is you being someone in this lifetime as a lot of lessons, a lot of learning, a lot of knowledge. But it isn't anything that you haven't already learned in your past, right? I feel like it could even be that you are someone who is like a very wise counsel to others, right? With the High Priestess, maybe you are someone who has and shares with other people a lot of knowledge from the spirit realm, and you deliver those messages to other people, right? So you may feel called to that there as well. And again, with your Ten of Wands energy here in reverse, which is a good thing, right? But the Ten of Wands is talking about a lot of challenge, a lot of burdens, a lot of heaviness, a lot of stress. So through this lifetime, you may again experience a life that is filled with a lot of pain, a lot of sadness, a lot of heaviness, a lot of that energy that is almost blocking out or clouding these gifts that you truly have. So what you're going through in this lifetime is to move beyond this and to change, transform this energy so that you can reveal yourself as the High Priestess within this lifetime. The Chariot is about freedom. It's about breaking free, right? Here we go. That's what I was talking about. There we have the duality, right? The white and the black. Actually, these are sphinxes. I thought they were lions. They're sphinx. But yeah, that's kind of what you're going through here is the connection to astrology, the zodiacs, freedom for yourself, right? Freedom from restrictions, I feel like here as well. So there's a lot of learning, right? But in that process, you're kind of awakening to who you truly are, okay? So let's see. How is your past life affecting you in this lifetime? Also with the Eight of Wands, it could be that in this lifetime you feel called kind of like to many different directions and you're trying to like filter things out. We have Ma'at with truth, right? So again, your previous lifetime, you were finding your truth. You were finding your voice, right? With the black egg here. So in this lifetime, you're trying to find that truth within yourself again, right? Maybe it is about finding your voice sooner. Maybe it is about sharing your story. Maybe it is about you becoming a writer. The High Priestess would also make an excellent hypnotherapist, right? Also very strong call to spiritual work, okay? Maybe it is that you're helping other people to find their truth. Maybe you are someone who's kind of like receiving messages from the spirit realm, like I said, to deliver to other people, okay? So how is your past life affecting you in this lifetime? We have Benzai 10. We have beauty. Okay. So it could be that there in this lifetime, maybe you struggle with self-esteem issues, right? Lack of self-confidence, that you are really someone who's meant to break through all of those challenging thoughts, right? That can be very restrictive. It's about you finding out who you truly are, accepting yourself who you are, and feeling beautiful. Again, the number 6. Okay. The Ma'at with truth reduces to a number 3, which is the Empress. It is the Empress. It is the divine feminine. Okay. So yeah, to me, this is a lot of feminine energy healing that you're doing within this lifetime, right? Embodying the energy of the divine feminine, or healing the divine feminine energy within you, right? Learning to nurture yourself, love yourself. How is your past life affecting you in this lifetime? We have child orphan, okay? Now, some of you literally may have had a very challenging childhood, okay? This could be, even if you had parents present, you could have felt some type of abandonment. You could have felt some type of emotional neglect, right? You could literally have been someone who was an orphan, or you could have been a child who felt very disassociated or disconnected from your friends, different from other people, like you didn't fit in. Okay? This says, the light attribute of it says independence based on learning to go it alone and conquering your fear of surviving. Okay? Your shadow attribute says feelings of abandonment that stifle the maturation, seeking appropriate surrogate families, which means that you could have felt closer to your friend's mom or other people versus your own family, right? Almost like you didn't belong. To me, this feels very starseed too. Some of you may feel like starseeds in this lifetime, okay? Which is what I'm getting there as well. So how is it affecting you in this lifetime? We also have the priest. Look at that, beautiful. It says facilitates spiritual commitments, serves as a channel of spiritual energy. The shadow attribute says violates the trust of your spiritual community and seduced by your own spiritual role. So this to me is kind of like, maybe there's a little bit of a struggle with ego, right? To learn to kind of really stay attuned to that spiritual energy, but not let it come from a place of ego, right? Not kind of feeling like, oh, because I'm spiritual, or I'm more spiritual than you, or my gifts are stronger than your gifts. It's just be spiritual, be a channel for spirit, but don't let it go to your head, right? So it could be a little bit of a challenge with the ego of kind of breaking away from that and just kind of, you know, authenticity, I feel like is what you're finding here with this. Let's see, I'm going to close this reading out because I know I don't want it to be super long. So let's see a message of guidance, advice that Spirit has for you. And this is like super big, so I can't even shuffle these. Let's just do this. I'm going to do it down here, guys. Sorry, because these cards are huge. Let's see. What is your guidance? We're going to choose that one. Wow, we have the unicorn, and it says infinite possibilities. And it says you are the sovereign. Look at this. You are the sovereign of the seen and unseen worlds. The magic of love surrounds you. Beauty transforms you. Listen to the spirits of light. Abandon the darkness. Go beyond the ordinary and become the legendary. Okay, and again, with these little beautiful butterflies here, right? So to me, this advice and guidance is that if you are right now still struggling a little bit and still feeling like you're under a lot of pain, or you're still holding on to things from your past, right? Not being accepted, not feeling like you belonged, not, struggling with healing abandonment wounds, emotional neglect, things of that nature. It's going to make me cry. To not give up, okay? Not give up. This is really, I feel like you meant, right, to become this person who is facilitating not only growth for others, but this is you mastering this of yourself, right? To be able to help as a channel to help other people to find that darkness, right? That darkness, and shed light upon that for others, to serve as a guide in some way, to be able to help people to transform, right? And you first and foremost need to be able to do that within yourself, right? So a lot of this to me is about you letting Spirit into your life, right? You connecting to your higher self, you working with your spirit guides, and really working on uplifting in a way the feminine energy so that you are able to transform you. You're speaking your truth, living in your truth, sharing your story, right? Writing for some of you. Okay, so I'm going to leave it here for you. Pile number 1. I hope this was helpful for you guys, and I will see you in the next reading. Hi, pile 2. So for those of you that resonated with the pink agate and the starborn card, we are going to be pulling some additional oracle cards for you, but there is a really beautiful energy with this starborn, which I will start to get into as we kind of pull a little bit more of your oracle cards. So we're doing past life. Who were you, in a past life, your past life, and how it affects you in this lifetime. And I can already tell you, with that card of the starborn, this is a very unique person that you were in your past life, in that the starborn is this energy of the divine child, a star child, the destined. So in a way, if you notice, this card looks very, very cosmic in nature, with this little egg that's here. So this almost makes me feel that who you were in a past life was that you were someone who felt very like you were born with a specific purpose, a specific destiny, and you may have spent much of your life trying to figure out what that purpose was, almost like you were destined for something beyond the mundane world, right? It gives me kind of like starseed type of vibes is kind of what I'm getting with that. Hold on a second, you guys. I want to make sure. As I said kind of in the intro, for those of you that missed it, some of the cards, some of the artwork we have to keep covered on YouTube. So you might notice that there are some little post-it notes on some of them. YouTube has a new policy that they started in September about nudity on videos, and that includes tarot cards. So I have to keep some of these images covered. So I just want to make sure that this deck that I'm using does not really have any of those images, because then I have to edit, and I hate editing because it takes forever. So pile number 2, who were you in your past life? Who was pile 2 in their past life? Okay, wow, we have Isis here with rebirth. Let's look at this one. Okay, so we have the goose with inner knowing, and it says, you are a brave traveler. Wow, your soul knows the way. Be confident you will achieve your destination. Loyal friends are always with you. Don't worry, you are blessed. Let yourself fly. So yeah, it's like this energy of the starborn. Like I said, it's kind of like you felt like you were born into the world in your past life with a very specific destiny. And you may have spent a good portion of your life figuring out, trying to find what that was, like what your purpose. It wasn't just like you were someone who wanted to be ordinary. You felt you were born for greatness, for something beyond, like I said, the mundane. So let's see. Pile number 2. Who were you in your past life? Wow, we have the peacock. Peacock energy. Okay. Let's see, what else? Who was pile number 2 in their past life? Who was pile number 2 in their past life? We have the damsel, and it says, understanding the nature of healthy romance inspires you to rely on yourself. And also the shadow attribute says, waiting for a knight to provide for you, and seduction by romantic illusion. Okay. So I'm getting that there may have been a little bit of stuff going on with your love life. And to me, this is almost like you may have been someone who was waiting for another person to make you feel complete, right? This almost makes me feel, because we have romantic illusion here, seduction by a romantic illusion, almost like there were certain romantic relationships that you may have had that may have not necessarily been healthy or good for you, or maybe even codependency attachments to people, right? Codependent upon a partner, like I said, to make you feel whole or complete. So that could have been definitely something that you had to kind of work through there, okay? So who was pile number 2 in their past life? Okay, so we have the hero or heroine. And it says passion for a journey of personal empowerment. And it says the shadow is escapism and a false sense of heroism. So let's get one more here. Who was pile number 2 in their past life? Okay, so we also have God here, and it says benevolence and compassion, recognizing the eternal force within yourself and others. The shadow attribute says despotism and cruelty, using power to control people. Okay, so there may have even been a little bit of this energy of manipulation, right? Control. I'm getting even with the peacock being here too. Maybe for some of you, ego could have been something a little bit of an issue, right? Learning to kind of shed away that maybe a negative aspect of the self is kind of what I'm seeing with that. But yes, like I said, the starborn is this energy of you being someone who was kind of born into the world feeling that you had a destiny, a purpose that you were meant to fulfill that was different than, say, what the next person was kind of feeling. So you could have been going through your past life trying to figure out who you were, who you truly were, who you were meant to become. And maybe this could have also led to you feeling a lot of lack of fulfillment, right? Of maybe not being able to find what it was. to really figure yourself out, like feeling like I said, you had a specific destiny. Have you found it, or were you able to find it? Maybe the question, right? What I'm also getting here is the peacock is about inner beauty, compassion, and I feel like a lot of this is for you to really find. Maybe you were someone who was trying to find this within yourself. This is also talking about past pain that was held within the psyche. And I feel like for some of you, it could have been having to do with romantic relationships as well. So this is really about you learning how to accept yourself as well as others, right? With the goose, with the inner knowing, to me, this is also connected into your starborn energy. Okay? Because it's like I don't know, to me, this is kind of giving me starseed vibes. Like maybe your last incarnation, you were coming in as a starseed, right, onto Earth. And you felt like you had some type of mission, right? But really needing to kind of uncover that and find out who you were, right? So of course there's going to be, as a starseed, you're going to find yourself in a place where there are some challenges, right, within your life, lessons, right, missions that you have to learn certain things, right, about the human race and things of that nature. And we have here the light attribute, a passion for a journey and personal empowerment, right? So if you're finding personal empowerment here and also working towards letting go of this unhealthy romantic illusions, right? And to really find this beauty and fulfillment and happiness within yourself, right? And I feel like a lot of this is also healing the feminine energy here as well within you. Because of that energy of compassion. Yeah. With the inner knowing here, it's almost like you were kind of feeling like you were being led by spirit in a way to help you to move through your life. And then we have Isis here with rebirth, so it could have been that there was, I feel like a lot of powerful transformation happening within you. Okay, so what I want to do, I want to look at your tarot to kind of see what else we have here. And let's put this here. And then we'll look at your tarot cards. And hopefully this is all fitting in there. Okay, so let's see. Pile number 2. Who was pile number 2 in their past life? Your soul knows the way. You are a brave traveler. Be confident. You will achieve your destination. Who was pile number 2? Two of Pentacles. Nine of Swords. Okay, that is a lot of anxieties, overthinking, overanalyzing, or even obsessive thinking. Who were you in a past life? Maybe you were somebody who was very worried, nervous about what was going to happen in the future, right? Not being able to trust your path, right? Feeling like you had a specific purpose and destiny, but not being able, I feel like, to try to figure it out. Because the Nine of Swords is anxiety, and we have anxiety about future. What's going to happen? When is it going to happen? Like, when am I going to figure it out? When is this going to happen? When is that going to happen? Then we also have Judgment here, which again is your rebirth energy. Renewal. Lessons. What you're learning here. And I feel like because we do have Judgment, there is this energy of karma surrounding it. So it could have been, your past life was something that you were trying to learn from your karmic experiences, lessons, okay? Three of Pentacles. And then you have the Five of Pentacles. That is a feeling of lack, a feeling of despair, isolation, loneliness, scarcity or lack mentality, right? To me, I'm looking at this card here and there's this bear that's by itself, right? A little bear here. This could have been that you were someone who maybe went through, maybe even very difficult with financials, right? Because the Five of Pentacles is a feeling of lack. It could have been literally that you were someone who didn't have money, who lacked abundance, or this lack can even be because we're seeing how this is tied into this energy of the damsel, right? The shadow attribute, waiting for a knight to provide for you, right? Seduction by romantic illusion. It's like codependency, waiting for someone to do something for you, right? Take care of you, whether that is, you know, a relationship. I feel like you were somebody who did have a lot of friends, like a lot of close connections, right? With people. And yeah, we have loyal friends are always with you, and you have the Three of Pentacles energy here. So I feel like you were definitely somebody who had a lot of friends and close connections with people, but I'm just kind of feeling this, there's this energy of lack here. And it could have been the mindset, right, of feeling without something. Like if I'm without a romantic partner, then I feel empty, I feel void, I feel alone, right? But it's you learning how to, I feel like, be strong and provide for yourself to really set and build, learn how to build healthy foundations to connections, whether they be friendship or romantic in nature. So I do want to clarify a little bit here as well. You could have also been someone who really learned how to I feel like even like creating connections with others, building something here. Let's see, why is the Five of Pentacles energy here? We have the Seven of Cups. That is illusion, fantasies, illusions, confusion. The Knight of Cups. Look at that. That is your damsel right there. Okay. So yeah, this is saying here, past life, there was a lot of illusion surrounding love, romance, right? This, to me, may have been something that threw you off of your path with this starborn here. It's like Spirit saying here, your past life, you came with a very important destined purpose, right? But there's a lot of karmic energy here. Lessons. So I'm almost kind of feeling the illusion surrounded by love, romance, the shadow attribute here, seduction by romantic illusion, is what made you get stuck. And so I'm almost kind of seeing how this is playing out for you in this lifetime for some of you, even though we haven't looked at the cards yet. But this is almost making me feel like Spirit's saying you came your past life, you had a very specific purpose, a purpose to fulfill, a destiny that was something very different, like I said, than the mundane world, than what everybody else is doing. You could have been someone who was meant to really kind of create and build your own business, especially with the hero-heroine here, with a passion for a journey of personal empowerment, right? But if you're falling into this illusion of love and romance with the feeling of lack, it makes me feel like you kind of got stuck in your shadow. And it says escapism and a false sense of heroism. You know? So this almost makes me feel like mission failed. mission failed with this. Like you were meant to really kind of find the beauty from within yourself, what you have truly to offer, so that you can feel that fulfillment and happiness and a beauty shining from the inside out, versus feeling, getting caught up in the illusion that love was going to be something that was going to fix it, to make you feel better, to make you feel whole and balanced. And to me, this is something that's kind of throwing you out of alignment, throwing you off of what your mission was. Judgment is karma. So this almost makes me feel, is this something, and I'm seeing judgment again at the bottom. Is this something that you had a challenge with, a struggle with? Right? Yes, the Seven of Cups is illusions, fantasies, delusion, if we let it go that far. Right? Surrounding love, the Knight of Cups. The Five of Pentacles is lack, scarcity. Right? It just makes me feel like you kind of got thrown off course. You got thrown off course with this, with what your divine mission was, why you came to Earth in your past life. Okay, so let's look. Why is Judgment here? And it could even be, like I said, without even looking at it right now, how it's affecting you in this life is are you someone who also struggles with love? Right? You have challenges when it comes to your love life, getting caught up in illusions, right? Maybe staying in situations that are not healthy, or, things like that. So let's see what else. To me, this is also not just about love, but because we do have the damsel here and it is talking about romance, I have to mention that. But the Knight of Cups can also be other opportunities, right? Creative energy. And feeling overwhelmed, feeling confused, and maybe staying in that lack mentality, right? An energy of despair, with kind of feeling that you cannot find your way out of that mindset to open yourself up to the opportunities that are always surrounding us. It's about our perspective, right? The opportunities are always there. Let's see. Why is Judgment here? Seven of Swords. That is deception. That is illusion. Okay, illusion. And I just saw the Justice card too. Yes, it's karma. Like your last lifetime was a lot of karmic lessons. Okay, a lot of karmic lessons you were learning. And I feel like it was to see through illusion. And that illusion, of course, doesn't just have to be through romantic stuff, even though it is something the Spirit has mentioned here. But yeah, to me, it's almost like this was throwing you off your path. Okay? Like you have a very specific mission, purpose to fill in your last life. And like I said, I kind of feel like it's mission failed. Right? So you may feel like I'm kind of going through this again. Right? Because you're in illusion here with the Seven of Cups, the Seven of Swords, right? A karmic lesson here in illusion. And you have the goose here with the inner knowing, and it says your soul knows the way. Be confident you will achieve your destination. But if you're caught up in illusion, that illusion is clouding your judgment, right? You're not able to navigate. You're not able to tune into intuition because it is being clouded. Why is the Judgment card here? Why is the Judgment card here? The Seven of Pentacles. Why is Judgment here? Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords is a lot of painful situations. It can also be kind of really draining and stressing yourself out mentally, mental anguish, anxiety. Because the Seven of Pentacles is about taking time to evaluate, reassess what we're putting our energy into, It can also be us getting frustrated because we feel like something wasn't manifesting for us that we were putting our energy into. Okay? The sevens, we've got the Seven of Cups here, the Seven of Pentacles, the Seven of Swords. Okay? These all connect into the energy of the Chariot, which is also card number 7 in the tarot. The Chariot is about the willpower of the mind to be able to navigate forward, to be able to find willpower within us to move beyond any type of restrictive thinking, emotions, energies that are challenging us, and keep going, right? To keep going. But this almost makes me feel like this is what got you stuck. Your mindset, the lack mentality, the confusion, the illusion is what kept you stuck, because you could have also been someone who wasn't trusting your path. Like having a specific purpose and a mission and getting caught up in a mindset that was steering you away from that. Okay? So in a way to me with Isis and rebirth, which again, the Judgment card is about a rebirth. It is about us releasing the burdens, the pains, the stresses, the things from our past, which to me is also telling me that if this is your past life, you were someone who has maybe experienced many lifetimes of this karmic cycle, that you may have had some challenge with trying to make it through. I almost feel like I want to ask Spirit here with this Starborn what your mission was. What was pile number 2's mission in their past life as the Starborn? What was pile number 2's mission in their past life as the Starborn? What was pile 2's mission? Destiny, purpose. What was their destiny and purpose as the Starborn in their past life? The Tower is awakening. That is awakening. That is upheaval. That is a major wake-up call, a realization, an epiphany, clarity, right? That awakening to what this destiny is, and to listen to what your inner navigation, your soul, trying to get to what this is. This is huge change, shifts, right? Release of the things, right? The blockages here, the 5 of Pentacles, the 7 of Cups, the 10 of Swords, the 7 of Swords. What was pile number 2's mission as the Starborn? 9 of Swords, right? Release the anxiety, the fears that are blocking you. Page of Pentacles energy here, which could have been some type of creative project. Something that you were starting here with the page. But in order for you to align with whatever this destiny or purpose was, you had to be able to release the fears, right? Surrounding creating something, starting something, beginning something. What is this Page of Pentacles energy here? The King of Pentacles. That is also abundance, manifestation, being able to feel and live a life that is filled with prosperity, stability, security. Okay. Why is the page here? The 2 of Pentacles. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, so look at that. All of that Pentacles energy. Okay? So regardless of what, let's just say, exact profession this was, you were meant to be someone who had a divine mission or purpose here, which was to create and manifest stability, security for yourself, right? A very empowered energy with the King of Pentacles of beginning and starting as a page, the Ace of Pentacles with the opportunities that are there surrounding you, to be able to kind of find balance within yourself with the 2 of Pentacles here, and to end up as this King of Pentacles, right? Shifting away from that mindset of the 5 of Pentacles. Like I said, some of you love right? To me, it can also be because we're seeing illusion here, deception, illusion. And sometimes that illusion is ourself. That illusion is our own mind, right? So if Spirit is saying here, your mission is to wake up, basically the tower, right? To break yourself out of that way of thinking and that mindset of feeling that it wasn't possible for you to maintain stability within yourself, or to even create this for yourself, right? It's kind of like the tower is helping us to release anything that is not truly meant for us, that is not in alignment with us, right? That Seven of Cups, you know, on the long lines of illusion, right? We don't want to keep ourselves stuck like that, right? Because like I said, with the universe, it's going to present many opportunities for us, for growth, for, elevating ourselves in our life. And if we're stuck in this mentality or this mindset, scattered thinking, we're not going to get into alignment with this energy here that you were meant to, in your previous lifetime, meant to achieve this level of maybe abundance for yourself. To me, it's like just not trusting your path, not trusting yourself, getting caught up in that lack mentality and constantly worried about, how is this going to come together? When is this going to happen? How is it going to work out? It's just kind of, instead of listening to intuition and allowing that to guide you towards this, getting caught up in the mindset of fear. And to me, that's kind of what's making me feel like this was mission failed. In a way, mission failed because you kind of get caught up, right? So yeah, it's like meant to help to kind of clear this karma, right? To help to clear that. Okay, so what I want to do, I'm going to clear this away, and then we're going to see how this past life is affecting you in this lifetime. Okay, pile two. So let's see how your past life is affecting you in this lifetime. How is your past life affecting you in this lifetime? The Empress, okay? It could be something that's affecting your feminine energy, the feminine aspect, regardless of your gender. The Empress is the embodiment of the divine feminine, okay? We all have feminine and masculine energies within us. So this is something that's affecting your feminine energy. It's affecting you, I feel like, from truly being able to step into your power with fertility, creativity, growth, manifestation, even learning to love yourself, to nurture yourself, to boost up self-esteem, confidence, your self-worth, right? Let's see what else here. How is your past life affecting you in this lifetime? The Moon, okay? So again, the Moon, just like the card that we saw earlier with your energy here, the Moon brings in illusion, deception, fears, irrational fears, insecurities. And those could be insecurities that you have about yourself with your own feminine energy. It can be insecurities about embracing love and connection with other people, compassion, empathy. The Moon is clouded thinking, right? Because the Moon is blocked intuition. Okay? It can even be creating a lot of suppressed or repressed feelings and emotions within you that are creating fears. And that fear can be surrounding your ability to even create or manifest abundance for yourself, or to be creative, or to think of creative ideas and actually bring them to life. Okay? So how is your past life affecting you in this lifetime? The Knight of Wands. Okay, so to me, it's affecting creative inspiration, the drive, the passion to be able to achieve your goals, right? For those of you where this is kind of like you find yourself in love situations, you could even be dealing with Knight of Wands type of people, Knight of Wands type of romantic partners that are not really seeing your worth, not seeing your value, okay? And getting caught up in that illusion again, because the Empress is really truly this embodiment of knowing your worth and knowing your value, right? And if someone is interested in you, let's just say for the wrong reasons, right? Not really clear intentions, you could be keeping yourself stuck again in that illusion of love, right? When you're truly worth unconditional love with someone, and that Knight of Wands character may not necessarily be giving you that type of love that you're truly deserving of. So, right, that can totally be keeping you stuck in that illusion. So let's see. How is your past life affecting you in this life? We have the Chariot here. And then we also have the Page of Pentacles. Okay. So for the others of you, and I'm seeing the Hangman at the bottom. Okay. So your Hangman is about you kind of going through this shift of perspective in this lifetime, where you may be kind of taking a pause and looking at your life and thinking, what things are holding me back? How can I change my perspective? How can I free myself from this illusion, right? The Chariot is about willpower. It's about us having the motivation, the drive, the energy from within to help to lead ourselves toward this empowered energy of success and achievement. And with the Page of Pentacles energy here, it looks like in this lifetime, you are feeling this eagerness to create, right? With that feminine energy, to create something, right? That is going to help to lead you towards pursuing your passions, your dreams, your goals, your desires. So you are in this lifetime going through this process of trying to change your perspective on life, on love, on career, on finances, on becoming the best, I feel like, version of yourself. And with that moon energy, yes, there can be some challenges there. Let's kind of look at that moon. Let's see. Why is the moon energy here? Why is the moon here? Queen of Cups. It's clouding your intuition. Justice in reverse. Okay. And the Queen of Swords. Okay. Yeah, it is affecting your mindset. And look at that. We've got the Knight of Cups again underneath the deck. So, yes, this is definitely something for some of you surrounding love and relationships. Getting caught up in an illusion, getting caught up in one-sided situations in which you are being treated unfairly by romantic partners, and being able, because I feel like with the Queen of Cups, and this is for those of you where you notice and recognize this is something that's happening to you in your love life, but the Justice card in reverse is one-sided love situations, people that are treating you unfair, unbalanced, unjust. It could be dealing with people who are being lying, okay, treating you unfairly. And I feel like you are someone who loves with your whole heart, right? You're giving love, so much of yourself with love, but you're being met with people who are not giving that energy in return. So there is a lot of you learning how to really love yourself to be able to move on from that energy there, okay? And it is something that you're dealing with romantic partners that is affecting your clarity, your ability to be honest with yourself about yourself in these situations, to learn how to cut people out of your life that are not giving you what it is that you're truly deserving of, right? So that you can truly step into your power as the Empress, okay? For others of you, I'm seeing this affecting your life in a way that I almost feel like it's clouding your creative energy, the mindset. It's creating difficulties surrounding making decisions, taking decisive action to move beyond those fears and the illusion that the moon does bring in. The moon is also very deceptive, okay? So some of you may even find yourself connecting with people who are deceptive towards you. It could be family members, it could be romantic partners. You yourself, and I'm just going to say, you yourself may also be someone who struggles with telling the truth. It could be that you are someone who at times, maybe a shadow aspect of yourself, where you feel the need to lie, okay? Because justice in reverse is kind of like that energy of not being honest, not being honest, like literally not being honest. Whereas the Queen of Swords, she is the voice of truth. She is like literally Lady Justice here, right? So to me, this is this imbalance here with Justice card being in reverse. So I'm feeling also this balance here that you're struggling with, because I'm noticing that we have the Queen of Swords, which is logic. And then we also have the Queen of Cups here, which is reflective of our heart, our feelings, our emotions. And that's really what justice is. It's about being able to weigh things out, logic, rational thinking versus the heart, right? To really kind of find the best possible choice decision that you can make for your highest good, right? So it could be that this lifetime, you're maybe someone who struggles with making choices or decisions based off, let's just say, with all emotions, right? And you're not able to see the truth of a situation surrounding opportunities, because for some of you, it may have nothing to do with love. Look at the Knight of Cups as opportunities in your life to feel inspired, to create, right? And it could be that you're having a difficult time being able to kind of decipher between the two. What is the logical, rational, best decision to make versus what is my heart also telling me? So it's about being able to kind of find that balance from within, see through the deception, see through the illusions that are keeping you stuck from being able to kind of really create from a balanced energy of, this is what I feel authentically, feels like me, something that I want to do. And this is also something that I feel passionate about. I feel creative energy with that. Okay, so it could be a little bit of this off balance that you're kind of struggling with, being able to kind of find the happy medium between the two so that you are able to move forward with that Chariot and keep yourself open to opportunities and taking action, right? With the Queen of Swords. It's the Queen of Swords is a very objective energy, meaning that we look at all the information in order to make the best decision that we can really make for ourselves. And the Queen of Swords is also about finding our voice, right? Living in our truth, being honest with ourselves about certain things that are, off balance. For some of you, it can even be that you are someone who deals with maybe even a lot of karmic situations in which you feel like people are not treating you fairly, right? It could be a family member, it could be a friend, and you just kind of feel that you're struggling with that there as well. So what I want to do, I want to look at some oracle cards here as well. How is your past life affecting you in this lifetime? Okay, so we have Yi with the Sun, which is the masculine energy. We have ambition here, and then let's look at one of these. How is your past life affecting you in this lifetime? We have the Father. Okay. So the energy of the Father, which is also masculine embodiment energy, you've got the feminine and you've also got the masculine energy here with the Father and the Sun. So we have a talent for creating and supporting life, positive guiding light within a tribal unit. The shadow attribute says dictatorial, control, abuse of authority. Okay. So you may have been someone who maybe has experienced maybe some challenging energies surrounding masculines in your life, and that could be your own father, a father figure. It could even be certain romantic partners that you might have within your life, okay? Or it could be your own masculine energy that you struggle with, okay? Your own masculine energy. And because the masculine energy is an important part, right? Especially with your past life being the starborn, right? You have a specific divine purpose, mission to fulfill. This requires both your feminine and your masculine energies to work together, especially with the Chariot, because the Chariot is about bringing those two energies together in order to help us to move forward. They both need each other. Okay? The feminine energy is the part of us that is creative, that is intuitive, that is all about birth and fertility, right? Of an idea, creation, right? You have your Page of Pentacles here, which is you feeling this eagerness to want to start something, right? A way to creatively express yourself. So you require also the masculine energy for focus, for discipline, for strategy, for planning, and for action, right? If we have any type of wounded masculine energy or within ourselves, or even a not so great energy with our father, right? We have the perception of the masculine being distorted a little bit, right? That can be something that also affects us, right? So that can be something that takes our confidence away. It can take our self-esteem away. It can make us feel like we're not good enough, right? All of these different things, right? So to me, it is something that you're meant to really kind of in this lifetime, finding that, if, and especially if you are someone who's kind of like already on the other side of this and you're already like this Empress, already, you could be kind of like feeling at this time that you are already on the move with the Chariot, that you feel this powerful energy within you that is just kind of wanting to create and manifest and find out who you truly are and being open to things. You may have already had that shift in perspective and truly stepping into this energy of the masculine, right? Where you're very ambitious, you're wanting to kind of get things done, you're wanting to make things happen, right? Make a difference, maybe even for some of you in the world. But for others of you, it may be a little bit of a struggle, right? It could be that you have a struggle with masculine energies, your own masculine energies, or even if you're someone who had maybe an absent father or a not so great supporting energy, let's just say, from parent or parents in your life, right? So that can also be maybe feeling a need to control, right? A need to control something instead of just kind of surrendering and allowing yourself to be led or guided on your path in the way that Spirit is kind of guiding you. Okay? So what I want to do, and it could be, like I said, for some of you that you already feel like you are in this very ambitious energy of wanting to create and in your power and manifesting a beautiful life for yourself, but some of you may even be in this struggle here. Okay, so I want to get some guidance from you. We're going to use this deck here to get here some guidance. And I would say, looking at this, continue to work on the energy of the feminine, right? And removing yourself out of situations that are unfair, unbalanced, whether romantic relationship, family situation, friendship situation, okay? Things that are not balanced, not fair. You could be someone who's giving, like I said, all of yourself and people not giving back to you, okay? So it is about you really having a shift in perspective and removing yourself out of that place of illusion. So let's see, pile number 2. What is your advice, your guidance for this? This one here is what Spirit is saying. Let's get this out of here. Okay, so we have the raccoon here, and it says inventor, and it says decide on what you really want. You have the ingenuity to claim it. Avoid being the trickster and practice integrity. You have many roles and can juggle them well. Okay, so yeah, this is Spirit saying here, decide what it is that you really want, right? And kind of allow that energy of the masculine to really kind of come through to work in tandem with the Empress energy, the feminine, so that you are able to bring forth growth, right? Towards whatever this is, whatever this Page of Pentacles represents for you. It could be a new creative project. It could be a new job. It could be a new career. It could be something, right, that you're wanting to create here. Okay, so I'm going to leave it here for you. Pile number 2. I hope this was helpful for you guys, and I will see you in the next reading. Hi, pile 3. So for those of you that resonated with the Amethyst and the King card, this is going to be a reading. So we're looking at past life today and how it affects your current incarnation, okay? How it affects you in this life. So we're going to start off with pulling our oracle, and then maybe we'll look at the tarot. So pile 2, who were you in your past life, past incarnation? With the energy of the King. This one here. So I'll start with that. We have, okay, so we have the butterfly rebirth, and it says you can reinvent yourself, open to the rewards of change. You have brilliance to share with the world. Love every part of your journey. So let's see what else we're going into these here. So pile number 3, who were you in your past life? Who were you in your past life? Okay, so we do have the dolphin, which is a really very beautiful, very sweet, playful energy there. So let's get 3 of these. Who was pile number 3 in their past life? We have the beggar. Okay, let's see what else. We have the exorcist. Who was pile 3 in their past life? We also have the alchemist here. And let's grab one of these goddess cards. Who was pile number 3 in? Here we go. We have 2 actually that came out for you. Okay, so we have Nyx with secrets. And then we also have ambition here. Okay. All right, so let's kind of go over some of these. The archetype cards that we have here. The first one that you have is beggar. And it says confronts empowerment at the level of physical survival, awakens the spiritual authority of humility, compassion, and self-esteem. And then the shadow attribute to that says dependence on others to the exclusion of effort. Okay. So a lot about this energy and then how I kind of see how this relates into the energy of the king. The king archetype is the ruler, a commander, the emperor, someone who is authoritative. But if you think about the great kings that we've had within mythology, as well as historically, these are people who sit in that place of authority with humility, okay? Without the ego that is like, I'm the ruler. I mean, of course, yes, there are some people who can kind of take that that to the level of ego, right? Of being in a place of power, and the shadow attribute of that being the misuse of power, the misuse of authority, right? Which this card definitely has that shadow aspect to it. So what I'm noticing here is that, because I feel like a lot of the energies that are here, I'm seeing this energy of alchemy here, and also the exorcist. And the exorcist energy says freeing yourself and others of destructive impulses. And looking at this here, it almost makes me feel, because you have the butterfly with rebirth, and it says you can reinvent yourself. Open to the rewards of change. You have brilliance to share with the world. Love every part of your journey. This almost makes me feel like in your past life, you could have been someone who was in a place of authority. You could have been someone who was literally some type of royalty, or someone who was in that position of authority, right? However, I feel like you may have been delving into a little bit of the shadow side of it, only because this butterfly here is here with rebirth, saying that you can reinvent yourself, right? And then the exorcist here says fear of facing your own demons. And then the shadow attribute for the alchemist says misuse of the power and knowledge that come through spiritual practice. And the king energy is also, when we think of this energy of a leader, a ruler, right? This is that we are practicing compassion, love, humility, as we are and have people that we are ruling over in a way. Let's just look at it that way. We have people that we are ruling over, that we are protecting, right? And we have to hold compassion towards the people. If we're thinking like a king, we have to hold compassion towards the people because they are looking up to us to lead them, right? But this almost makes me feel like I feel like struggles that you've had with that place of authority, and maybe misusing your power, misusing your authority. And sometimes that energy can become very cruel and very controlling and very, I feel like restrictive, or maybe even a little bit dogmatic in nature. Okay. So I feel like with the alchemist here is that you're transmuting this energy, right? Going through your own rebirth process, where in your past life, you're able to face your own demons, right? With the need to control, the need for power, the need for staying in control of certain things that may have been happening in your life, right? You may have also been someone who is very dependent upon other people, right? So the light attribute of the beggar says confronts empowerment at the level of physical survival, awakens the spiritual authority of humility, compassion, and self-esteem, right? So as you work towards letting go of these, I feel like, shadow aspects of yourself, you turn into this balanced energy of the king. And I feel like, in a way, you could have been, like I said, stuck in the shadow, really working towards changing this aspect of yourself to learn how to be someone who was more compassionate with the dolphin. And the dolphin is a beautiful, sweet, playful energy of joy, right? So it almost makes me feel like some of the shadow aspects here could have been taken away from the leadership that you truly had to offer. And so going through this process of transformation for yourself and kind of trusting in the unknown, right? So it may not even have been for some of you that even were, someone who was a king. It could be just this person in a place of authority, an authoritative figure in some way. Maybe you were somebody with the ambition here, someone who was incredibly ambitious. And to me, this dolphin energy is also very light-hearted. Okay, the dolphin does represent the element of water. So when we think about the archetype of the king or the emperor, as it relates also into the tarot, this can be where we feel that need to control, right? To be very disciplined, to be very focused, to stay very organized, right, with something. And sometimes this can be a need for us to kind of let go a little bit, right? And kind of allow in more compassion, more loving energy, more playful energy, versus that energy that we can think of as, which can become a little bit of an issue of control, right? Where we let it go too much into the ego, right? Like, I'm powerful, I'm authoritative, I'm all of these things. And then we also have Nyx with secrets here, And this card is about you being able to trust that information that spirit feels that you need to know will be revealed to you along your path when it is the right time. Okay? To me, this is about you learning how to release control in your past life, of you learning how to trust that we don't always need to be in control. We don't always need to try to, that's just kind of what I feel like. You don't need to always be in control, right? So you could have been someone who was, maybe someone who was very lighthearted. You could have also been someone that kind of has taken on these light attributes, I feel like, after going through this process of transformation within yourself. And like I said, because of this card, it makes me feel, because there is transformative energy in here, and it says you can reinvent yourself, that you could very well have been that person who allowed this position of authority, whatever it may have been, whether it was in a family, whether it literally was you literally being a king or being some type of leader, right? That you learn how to change this and learning how to trust your path and, turning into the light attribute here, where you are freeing yourself and others from destructive impulses, right? The transmutation that's happening here with the alchemy, and then awakens your authority from a place of humility, from a place of compassion, with a higher self-esteem, right? A better energy, especially with that little dolphin that's there, right? And it says here, you have brilliance to share with the world. Love every part of your journey, right? Be open to the rewards of change. And so there may have been, a little bit of challenges or struggles that you may have had within this, right? To face those not so, maybe like shadow parts of the self, right? Which could definitely be ego. And also if there was any type of codependency, right? Because we have the shadow here of dependence on others, right? With to the exclusion of effort, meaning that we're not trying to do better. We're not trying to change our life. We're depending on other people to help us, or depending on other people to do things for us, is basically what I'm getting from that, right? Instead of changing our life because we don't like it, it's like you could have been in your past life someone who was asking other people for a handout, right? Asking other people to help you, instead of feeling that empowered energy of the emperor, because the emperor is also, or the king is masculine energy. It's the masculine aspect of the self. So the masculine part of us is the part of us that is focused, disciplined, organized, all about strategy, planning, and taking action, right? Taking action. So if you were someone who was kind of in this energy here, it's learning how to be, I feel like, also more humble here as well. And knowing that you could be someone who didn't always have to be this type of person, that you could learn to be someone who was independent, right? Or learning to be more interdependent, especially when it comes to relationships and connections. And maybe that through this process of you going through this rebirth process, where you learn how to be more empowered in your energy, but also more balanced, right? More ambitious, and learning to trust in your path, right? So let's look at your tarot. I want to see, actually, let's put these over here. And you guys got 2 of these goddess cards. Let's actually put them like this. And then we'll put your little dolphin here. And then your king right there. And let's get your tarot up here to let a little bit more about who you were. Okay, and just so you guys know, I told pile 1 and pile 2, there's been some changes to YouTube's policies from September. You guys have access to look at them too, because if you are on YouTube, we all have to be aware of policies that are on YouTube. but specifically if you are a content creator. You notice probably if you follow my other channel and this one here too, sometimes I use tarot decks that have certain images that are covered, okay? And there's a reason for that. The new policy from September is stating that any videos that are on YouTube that are being monetized cannot have nudity that is displayed, and that includes tarot card artwork, illustrated artwork. That means even if you're a content creator and you're doing a review on a book, if that book has nudity in it, you cannot monetize it. Okay, so that's why you will see me sometimes use tarot decks that have these images that are covered up, and it is because that video is being monetized. So moving forward, we have to keep things covered, okay? Otherwise, I cannot post them, okay? So let's see, because I know some people have been asking in the comments, and rather than keep repeating myself over and over again, you know that there's a reason for it. There's a reason for it. I normally, don't do that, but we have to do that now because of that new policy. So moving forward, all of our content has to have those images that are being covered if you are monetizing your video. So pile three. Who were you in a past life? We have justice. Justice. Page of Wands. Six of Pentacles. Yeah, I'm feeling that this is you turning into someone, especially with this transformative energy here, that you turned and changed into someone who became extremely generous towards others, treating people fairly and balanced, right? I feel like I said, you may not have always been that person, but yeah, we've got the Five of Pentacles here, which is lack. But you really working towards changing that, right? Yeah, we've got the Devil here. The Wheel of Fortune at the bottom. Yeah, so what I'm feeling what's happening here is that you were someone who was kind of stuck, I feel like, in this cycle with the Devil. The Devil energy can be manipulation, control. Okay, and if you have this energy of the King, that's where I'm kind of saying here, your past life, you were kind of showing up in your shadow aspect of that. Okay, not saying that you were like a tyrant. You can think of the King as a tyrant when it has that kind of shadow. But like I said, it doesn't need to be that you literally were a king, although if you kind of feel that vibe about yourself, you may kind of sense that, right? Royalty or leadership, emperor, commander, ruler, right? But in your shadow. Okay, so the Devil energy, like I said, it can be those negative parts of the self. The Devil can also represent the ego. Okay, the ego. And I feel like you were someone who was kind of stuck with the Wheel of Fortune here in that cycle, in that pattern of behavior, in which you may have been someone. I'm seeing the same thing here again. The Five of Pentacles is lack. It's despair. It is some type of void or emptiness, right? We have the Beggar here. Dependence on others to the exclusion of effort, meaning that because the Devil is also codependency, right? We're dependent upon others to give to us. The Six of Pentacles is generosity, right? Giving to others. But you could have been that person as the beggar who was taking from others, right? Instead of putting in the effort and the work into making it happen for yourself, right? We're depending on other people to give to us because we are in the energy of lack, right? We feel hopeless. We feel despair, right? So to me, it's about you freeing yourself in your past life, working towards freeing yourself from that type of mentality, right? You may have also been someone with the king who could have been that person who was and became giving to other people, helping other people, right? Especially people who maybe needed the help. Maybe it could have been that you were helping people who were beggars, and you were that person who felt compassion, who you transformed into being more compassionate. Instead of kind of staying in this Five of Pentacles, you became the Six of Pentacles to really give towards others from a place of your heart, of compassion, right? Towards other people. So that's kind of what I'm seeing here as well, right? But to me, again, with the Exorcist here, it says freeing yourself and others of destructive impulses, right? So you could have even been someone who saw other people who were helpless, right? Who were beggars, and you were kind of kind and generous enough to give to them, right? Which is another scenario that I'm kind of seeing here as well, because justice is also about balance. It's about fairness. It's about doing the right thing, right? And doing the right thing is not always being on the receiving end of taking and taking and taking. What are we giving back, right? The devil energy can also talk about greed, right? Greed, especially when it comes to, we could have been power hungry, right? With the king and the devil here. Manipulation, control, right? I'm thinking in the shadow aspects of these. But yes, justice is about learning from our past, right? Justice is also karma. So it makes me feel, especially with justice and the devil being here, that you could have, your past life, it could have been that you were stuck or trying to help to clear some type of karmic cycle that you were in. And you may notice that even in this lifetime, you could find yourself in that same situation where you could be on this Five of Pentacles, right? Where you feel, I feel like I cannot manifest. I feel stuck. I feel like I need help. I feel codependent. I feel waiting for other people to save me, waiting for other people to do things for me. And it, maybe the part of the process for you could be going through your own rebirth process, right? Where you're learning how to better manage, I feel like, this masculine energy, to work towards your passions, your dreams, your desires, to learn that if I put in the work, that it is going to manifest for me in a positive way, right? So that's kind of where I'm seeing here, that in your past life here, you may have been kind of caught up in a karmic cycle of some not so great patterns of behavior, but learning to change that, learning to kind of find inspiration by not needing to know all of the answers, kind of like I said with Nicks and Secrets, but you're trusting your path and trusting that if I feel inspired and I want to try new things, do new things, that I am going to create much more balance by making better choices moving forward. Because the devil energy can be very restrictive, right? It can definitely hold us back in a place of fear. And we have this energy of fears here too, right? We have fear of facing your own demons, right? And your own demons are in that devil energy, right? All those not so great habits that we have, right? Codependency, attachment, greed, overindulgence, power, control, manipulation, illusion, all those not so great shadow aspects of the self. So you were meant to try to bring balance to this karmically, I feel like, with the Justice card, to try to go through this rebirth process. And because you are someone, of course, you're watching a past life reading. If you believe in past life, you believe in karma, right? So if there's things that you may not have been so great at in a past life, sometimes we can reincarnate and go through those same cycles. Okay, go through those same cycles here. So what I want to do, I want to clarify this just a little bit before we move on to the next part of this. But I feel like I want to look at this devil energy first. What is this devil energy? What is the devil here? We have the Ace of Cups. The Fool in reverse, that's fear of taking some type of risk or leap of faith. We have the Knight of Cups in reverse. This is blockages here. blockages, which could have been blocking you from an energy of compassion, heart, emotions, feelings. Let's see, why is the Justice card here? The Queen of Cups, right? This is you in your past life learning to be more compassionate, more loving. A lot of this has to do with your heart. Okay. Two of Pentacles. Yeah, so to me this is about you finding balance, right? Union within the self, right? Not allowing this energy of the masculine to kind of take over, right? Maybe even suppressing the feminine is kind of what I'm seeing here too. But to bring about balance between both feminine and masculine energies, right? Because when we can kind of go into our masculine energy a little bit too much, we can end up suppressing the feminine, right? In which we do become very strict, very orderly, very like, I mean, I'm sure you know people like that. I know people like that. I know I've had past friends that have been like that, female friends that needed to control, that would talk down to people. And it's just like, you know, I'm going to say she was way in her masculine energy where she just felt like very, what does it say? Dictatorial, if I say that right. Like a dictator, right? I'm going to control. This is what you're do. You're not going to do this. You're going to like this because I like this. It was just like power hungry. Like I need to manipulate. I need to control. And we're disconnected from the feminine, right? We lose that compassionate, nurturing, empathetic type of energy where we become too much into this energy. So yeah, to me, it's like maybe a little bit of an imbalance here and very ego driven, right? Very ego driven, I feel like, in your past life where you're learning how to change that, you know, going through your rebirth process, reinventing yourself, coming from a place of heart and love and compassion and empathy, and not being afraid of letting go of, you know, those patterns of behavior that were creating, you know, maybe difficulties for you, right? You're stepping into this dolphin energy, right? Playful, loving, joyful, you know, instead of feeling this need to control here is what I'm seeing. Okay, so what I want to do, I'm going to clear this away, and then we're going to look at how this past life is affecting you in this lifetime. But I am going to save your oracle cards over here. Okay, so let's see pile number 3. How is your past life affecting you in this lifetime? How is pile number 3's past life affecting them in this lifetime? How is pile 3's past life affecting them in this lifetime? Judgment. Judgment. Which again is karma. Okay. Judgment is literally the day of judgment, right? We look back on our past, what we've learned, mistakes we've made, burdens that we're carrying, to go through an awakening, to go through a rebirth process, right? To be released, kind of like absolved, right, of our sins and our wrongdoings, and we're being judged basically with judgment. Okay, so let's see. How is pile number 3's past life affecting them in this life? The Page of Wands, which is about starting new, starting over, the release, right? The release with judgment, renewal within the self, which is telling me that you going through your rebirth process in the past life may have been something that you were fully able to complete. There could be some things happening here karmically that you are redoing over again with this, right? So let's see what else. How is your past life affecting you in this life? Pile 3. The Hierophant. Okay. How is your past life affecting the Hangman? Oh no, we have the Devil again. Okay. I want to clarify that a little bit because you have the Devil in your past too, which means that in this present lifetime, there could still be maybe some codependency, attachments, unhealthy patterns of behavior, fear, doubt along your path, maybe a trusting your path, right? Because you had Nyx in your past life. And Nyx, like I said, is about us, spirit connecting with us and revealing things to us about our path, our direction, and about trusting that whatever is meant, what we're meant to know will be revealed to us when we're meant to know it, right? So I want to look at this a little bit more. The Hierophant can be a very beautiful energy, okay? Because the Hierophant is really about knowledge, wisdom that is being gained through experiences, through challenge, right? The 5, as it relates into the tarot, the Hierophant, it challenges our way of thinking, our beliefs, our values, our morals. The Hierophant is about tradition, right? A traditional way of doing something, right? Doing what we've always done in a certain way, and how we can maybe learn to reflect upon what those values are, or those thoughts that are maybe challenging us, emotions, way of thinking, into changing and shifting perspective away from that, right? The Hierophant can also be a little bit of a very dogmatic energy in which there is order that comes along with the Hierophant, right? These are the set of rules that we must follow, right? If you think about any type of certain religions, and I'm not trying to offend anybody, but if you think about certain religions, right? Certain rules and laws that are in place, views of society that say that if you don't fit into this box, this is socially unacceptable, right? That is the embodiment of the Hierophant. So those values and beliefs that we hold based off of the life experiences that we've had, meaning that the way that our parents have raised us, the values and opinions of other people that have been kind of given to us or kind of shoved upon us, right? The Hierophant can be a very challenging energy, right? It can make us think like very much inside the box. We have to do what we've always done. It is tradition, right? So this in a way kind of challenges you to have a change in perspective within this lifetime about what your beliefs are and if they still serve you, right? Let's just say that within your cards, you had the 5 of Pentacles, right? The 5 of Pentacles is an energy of lack and scarcity mindset, right? Despair, not having enough. That number 5 relates to the Hierophant, okay? And it is something that affects us within the physical world, right? Our money, our relationships, our health, our, whatever it is. So I feel like for you, you are maybe being met with challenges with your commitments, right? Maybe relationships, friendships, family relationships, maybe even certain belief systems that you have in place. And you're meant in this lifetime to be able to change your perspective on those, to be able to break free from them, because some of them may be so restrictive that they're keeping you in a place of doubt or fear, illusion, ego, that you're meant to break free from, right? so that you can, in some way with the Judgment card here, be removed from that, clearing that karmic energy cycle, all of these things that you've been holding on to, so that you can start new with that Page of Wands and be free, in a sense, to explore, to discover your passions, your dreams, your goals, your desires. Some of you with the Hierophant energy here may also feel like guides, mentors, teachers, you know, with a lot of wisdom, a lot of knowledge that you have to share, because you may also be someone who's already gone through this, and someone who has been able to help other people to be able to also change their perspective too. When you recognize if someone is stuck in a place of fear or doubt, illusion, or trapped or stuck in something that there is unhealthy for them, right? But not first without realizing that you too could be stuck in that as well, right? With your own family situations, your own relationships, your own life, right? The Devil can really talk about toxic, karmic, unhealthy patterns of behavior, addictions, you know, and that could be in many different things, right? Many different addictions that we can have in life. Spending, overeating, right? Undereating. It's just kind of any pattern of behavior that is not so great for us. So I want to clarify this a little bit before I start pulling out a little bit of oracle cards. So we'll look at this Devil energy here, right? But how it's impacting you is the Devil, right? Ego, illusion, doubt, fear, manipulation, control. And the manipulation, control could, yes, generally be situations that you find yourself in, but it can also be that there are certain values or belief systems that are keeping you, in a way, oppressed, right? Keeping you oppressed. Why is the Devil energy here? Ten of Wands. Look at that baggage. Okay. Ten of Wands is about holding on to burdens, heaviness, right? For some of you, it can be that there are so much stuff that you're holding on to from your past, maybe things from this life, right? Past this life, that you're still carrying, right? That's a need for lightening the load. That's a need for letting go of all of these things that are keeping us stuck. Why is the Devil here? Ten of Cups. It's blocking out your happiness, your fulfillment, right? It could be affecting family, toxic family situations, relationships. Seven of Wands, which means that in this lifetime, you're dealing with adversity. You're dealing with challenge, right? You're dealing with challenge. Why is the Hierophant here? King of Swords. Okay, so again, this lifetime, the King of Swords is an authority figure. Okay? Yeah, the King of Swords is definitely an authority figure. So it could be, like I said, sometimes when we have stuff from our past life, we're doing it over, right? We're doing it again. Right? And it's not to say that the King of Swords is not a bad guy. The King of Swords is an amazing energy. But it is really this transformation of thoughts, this transformation of words, of intellect. The King of Swords is also about honesty, truth, balance, fairness. He represents, you know, the mind, the clarity of the mind, the objectivity, being objective, right, about other people, about not being judgmental towards people. Okay? It's about taking action and making decisions from a balanced energy. We also have the Wheel of Fortune here. Why is the Hierophant here? We've got the Knight of Swords. Okay. Let's find out why Judgment is here too. Why is Judgment here? You have your Ace of Pentacles. Why is Judgment here? Look at that. Look who's here. The Emperor. The Emperor. The Emperor. So yeah, to me, I'm looking at this and it is a lot of the masculine energy, right? The archetype of the masculine. The Emperor, the leader, the commander, the ruler. Yeah, so in a way, with Judgment being here, there is this rebirth, okay, that is happening for you in this lifetime. And it could be because the Emperor, when the Emperor is in the upright, it is a beautiful energy, okay? The Emperor represents stability, a strong foundation, you know, great leadership abilities, skills, kind of like this king here. Okay, humility with the Emperor. Someone who is a figure, you being a figure in this life. It could even be that you're someone who's really working on your masculine energy in this lifetime, right? You're learning how to take control. You're learning how to create a plan of action and to really put the energy behind it with this Knight of Wands energy here. Passion, drive, right? To create a new beginning for yourself versus something that you could be struggling with, challenged by, right? So that you can truly live a life that is filled with happiness, with joy. And I feel like a lot of this changing of thoughts, the mind, the intellect, finding your voice, being able to speak clearly. So yeah, to me, this is a lot of empowerment of the masculine that you're finding within yourself within this lifetime. And it could be a little bit of a challenge, right? Sometimes we can get very caught up with a wounded or suppressed masculine energy where we get afraid, right? To take the lead. We get afraid to do certain things. So to me, it's you really learning how to become your own leader of your own life, to take control, but not in a way that is coming from a place of ego, right? You're learning how to be someone to take action and make decisions from a balanced energy, to kind of flow with life and to take decisive action when you need to, when it is appropriate, right? Something that's going to help you to build, I feel like, a firm foundation, I feel like, within your own life. And yeah, I feel like because the Wheel of Fortune is also about a turning point in our life, right? The turning point that we're having in our life that you could be going through, because the Hierophant is also about higher education, wisdom, and knowledge. So through these experiences that you've gone through in your life now, you're learning how to change the way you think away from conformity, right, with the Hierophant, into being more objective about things, seeing things from a more objective perspective, that I don't always need to be that person who fits into the box, right? I don't need to do things like other people think I need to do. I can think for myself, right? So yeah, the Wheel of Fortune brings in cycles of change, right? Going with the flow. I kind of want to see what your Hangman says here. I'm going to put these under here. Let's see. Why is your Hanged Man here? To me, this is the shift in perspective you're having. Why is the Hanged Man here? It may even be for some of you. Wow, look at that. We've got the moon. It may even be for some of you because the Hanged Man is kind of like a state of limbo, a pause. Some of you may even feel like your life is a little stagnant or has been stagnant, right? And a lot of it, I feel like, is because of a need for really tapping into the masculine energy. So yeah, it's making me feel like you guys in this lifetime are having a little bit of a struggle or challenge with your masculine energy, right? Getting it going, getting it like in line and not being afraid to take control, to take the lead. You have the moon here, okay? So what's happening here in this lifetime for you is you're changing and shifting perspective away from hidden irrational fears, doubts, uncertainty. What else here? The moon is clouded judgment. It is blocked intuition. It is not being able to kind of see the path ahead, right? So it's kind of like changing you away from thinking fear-based, right? And into the energy of the Emperor. Let's see, why is the Hangman here? Six of Pentacles. Okay. The Six of Pentacles is about kindness. It's about generosity. It's about sharing and giving to others. Right? Also, if you are someone who needs help, not being afraid to ask for help, but you're not going back into this energy of the beggar, right? That's what we want to move away from, okay? Because the Emperor, as well as the King of Swords, is fair, right? The Six of Pentacles is about reciprocity, meaning there is equal give and take, meaning that you are not someone who just takes and takes and takes from people, right? You're someone who is giving reciprocal energy, okay? Also having this understanding that what you put effort into is something that will be returned to you, meaning that if you feel like if your life is stagnant right now and we're not seeing any change other than stagnancy in our life, we have to put forth this energy here of the Emperor. We have to make decisions like the King of Swords, and we're basing that off of the experiences that we've had in the past, because we're looking at the Hierophant and we're also looking at judgment, right? Judgment is an opportunity for us to look back on our life. What decisions have we made that have brought us to this point where we're at right now? Do I like it? Do I like where I'm at right now? Maybe yes, maybe no. If it's a no, what can I do to change that, right? With this empowered energy here of the Emperor, the King, or the Knight of Wands, and the Ace of Pentacles, right? This is basically Spirit saying, we have the opportunity to change our story, right? You have the opportunity to change things now with you stepping into your masculine energy to make things happen and no longer keeping yourself stuck in that energy of the moon. Right? We have this understanding in the shift of respecting that I have to put effort in order for me to receive from the universe. Co-creation. Okay? So, yeah, look at this at the bottom again. The Hangman. It's change in perspective. Right? We have a different perspective now is what we're learning in this lifetime, or what you're learning, pile 3, in this lifetime. Okay? So let's see. Oracle cards. How is pile number 3's past life affecting them in this life? We have Isis with rebirth. And I feel like almost every single pile is going through this rebirth in their lifetime, which is beautiful because it's like we're changing and we're transcending karma. Okay? We're transcending karma. We're finding balance, right? We're finding union within the self. How is pile 3's past life affecting them? And judgment is also the rebirth. Look at that. We've got Goddess Hecate with the in-between. Okay. So to me, this is what you're dealing with in this lifetime, is going through this rebirth process for yourself. But also, look at that at the bottom, co-creation, Spider Woman. The in-between to me is that this is Spirit saying, maybe right now you're currently in transition. Right? Maybe this is where you're at right now, is thinking about your values, your beliefs, and how they are holding you back with that devil energy. Right? So how is your past life affecting you in this life? Detective. Okay? We have great powers of observation and intuition, desire to seek out the truth. And I love that because you have the King of Swords here. Right? So this to me is that in this lifetime, you're seeking more for yourself. You're learning. There's a lot you're learning. It may be a painful process, but you're still learning. Right? You're trying to really see through the illusions that you may have been stuck in with that devil energy, and how these thoughts, right, values, belief systems have been holding you back, how they have restricted you enough for you to say, okay, I need to change this. No more of this cycle, right? I can step into my power here as the Emperor. Let's actually get one more. We also have Lover, and it says a great passion and devotion, unbridled appreciation of someone or something. Okay, the shadow of that also says obsessive passion that harms others, and also self-destructive devotion. Okay, we also have the shadow of the detective, says voyeurism and falsifying information, right? So I will say, because you do have the Devil here, which the Seven of Wands is about those challenges, for some of you, it can even be kind of caught up in those shadow aspects, right? Maybe there is a lot of obsessive energy that you have about someone, or you are someone who is self-destructive, or the falsifying information, right? Because we're learning how to change the thinking. We're learning how to change the thoughts. We're moving away from manipulation. We're moving away from control, right? Into a more grounded, balanced energy. So for some of you, it can even be the falsifying information. Are we telling the truth, right? Are we lying about things? Are we lying about things, right? So the King of Swords is all about honesty, right? The Emperor is loyalty. So maybe these are lessons you're also learning of being loyal to family, being loyal to friends, learning to be a better friend, learning to be a better partner, learning how to really mature intellectually with that King of Swords. Like I said, to be more honest, right? Be more honest towards others, towards yourself. What else here? Yeah, to me, it's just like Spirit saying here, you're going through this whole process of reinventing, right? Okay, so your last message we're going to get here is just some advice, some guidance, okay? Those of you, I'm also kind of feeling maybe there's a need for working on masculine energy, empowered masculine energy, but stable, right? Balanced, beautiful, humility. Okay, so let's see. What is Pile 3's guidance, advice for this? Okay, so we're going to take this one. Let's see, Pile 3. Mastery. Okay, it says the eagle here. And it says, you are on a spiritual journey beyond the sky. Let go of the past and soar. You are guided by the winds of spirit. Your wisdom inspires the world. Right? So yes, things have been, for some of you, have been really challenging, right? There could be a lot of growth, a lot of things that you're learning, right? About yourself. Maybe some of these things that have taught you, the lessons that you've learned have taught you. Maybe you are someone who's meant to share that wisdom and that knowledge, but from this balanced place, right, of the Emperor. Some of you may, like I said, could feel very called to teach, to mentor, to guide, to teach others, right, in some way. It doesn't have to be just kind of like grade school and stuff like that, college, university, but maybe on a spiritual thing, right? Maybe you're teaching other people how to maybe empower their masculine energy, and you first learning how to do that yourself. You're learning how to master you so that you can begin to lead others into that empowered energy of the Emperor for themselves as well. Okay? So I'm going to leave this here for you, pile number 3. I hope this is helpful for you guys, and I will see you in the next reading.